I'm actually scared. I don't know if I want to be a mother anymore. Growing up, I've always wanted to be a mom, but the older I got, the more I understood the world, the worse the world got. I'm starting to change my mind. I'm actually...
My people, how many of you wanted to be a mother while you were still growing up, while you were still a girl, while you were still a child, that you just like, oh, I can't wait to be a mom? But now that you're grown, now that you've gotten to this age, you know, you don't want to be a mother anymore. You're like, I don't think this life is for me. How many of you felt this way? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Feel free to talk about it down in the comment section. I want to share this interesting video for you all. This lady has always wanted to be a mom while she was growing up, but now she's like, don't do it. Let me roll the full clip for you all to watch to the end, and I'll be back at the end of all videos.
Scared. I don't know if I want to be a mother anymore. Growing up, I've always wanted to be a mom, but the older I got, the more I understood the world, the worse the world got. I'm starting to change my mind. I feel like a lot of women were lied to about what motherhood really was. Growing up, we thought it was peaches and roses, because a lot of women, they didn't feel a space to feel comfortable enough to say how they really feel about motherhood because they were so severely judged. But now that we have the internet, we've seen the truth. A lot of women are coming out with the truth, and they're saying, no, this is not what you thought it was. Also, the older I get, I didn't know how demanding motherhood is. The kind of person I am, I need breaks. I need mental breaks. When I'm sick, I like to go in my room and lock myself in the room and close the door. And then other mothers, I hear them talking about the constant worry when they go to daycare and the constant worry when they're not in their possession. I'm already an anxious person, and it's such a beautiful thing to be a mother. I help women become mothers, and I myself don't know if I want to be one. Anyway, I had to express my feelings. Kind of makes me sad. I love children, but mentally, I don't know if I could deal with that in the capacity that it takes to be a mother. And I salute to all mothers because, oh my God, what a job.
Hey beautiful people, how are you all doing today? It's your girl Maria David, and I'm back again with another interesting video. What is your take on this video? Can you put your thought down in the comment section respectfully? I just have a stitch to share with you all, and she's making a lot of sense, so I'm going to go ahead and roll the video for you all to watch, and I will share my own opinion at the end of the video.
Growing up, I've always wanted to be a mom, but the older I got, the more I understood the world, the worse the world got. I'm starting to change my mind. I feel like a lot of women were lied to about what motherhood really was. Growing up, we thought it was peaches and roses because a lot of women, they didn't feel a space to feel comfortable enough to say how they really feel about motherhood because they were so severely judged. But now that we have the internet, we've seen the truth. A lot of women are coming out with the truth, and they're saying, no, this is not what you thought it was.
When I tell you, I have not resonated with a video more than I have with this one. And this is the reason why I went from someone who absolutely wanted to be a mother to someone who has chosen to be child-free by choice. I was someone who, from a young age, absolutely wanted to be a mother. I love kids. I've always loved kids. I think they bring so much joy into the world. And I was someone who was like, this is a deal breaker. If I meet someone that does not want to be a dad, game over. I absolutely wanted to be a mother. And then I got older, and I started to really realize the big picture of what it actually takes to raise a child, let alone multiple human beings. I think motherhood is a really amazing experience for the women who want that. But when you get older and you start to really realize the big picture and you see a lot of things, especially I live in New York City, I realized what it would look like, especially if I wanted to stay in New York City and wanted to raise a child. I refuse to be the parent carrying a stroller up the stairs, like on the train. And that would most likely be my life because I don't really want to move outside of the city. I like where I live, whatnot, but that's besides the point. And I kind of came to this conclusion in the middle of dating my fiance. And when I brought it up to him, luckily we were kind of on the same page because this was around the time that Roe v. Wade was overturned. And we started to really think about what would our life look like if we had children. And I'm so grateful and so thankful that we are on the same page and he supports this decision. And he's like, honey, yes. Yes. So we are fully on the same page of team child free by choice. And we also want to be the village for our friends who choose to have kids. We want to be the fun aunt and uncle. Do you need a break from your kids? I will absolutely babysit for you. I love kids. Let me be that person for you. But I so believe we are sold this fantasy of how amazing motherhood is. And it's a lot of work. And I realized it's a lot of work that I don't want to do. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but I really realized that I want to be selfish and I want to just worry about me and my fiance and our family and not have to worry about another living, breathing human being besides our cats. They're not human beings, but they're other living beings. And if I want to just pick up and go to the store right now, I don't have to worry about any of that. If I had a child, I can't just do that. I have to, especially if it's newborn, I have to bring the newborn with me. I have to bring the baby. I have to do this. I have to get a babysitter. I have to do all this. It's so many details that we don't think about that when you really see the big picture, you get to really think, is this a sacrifice I'm willing to make for the rest of my life? And if it's not, you should not be having kids. No. And I realized for me, that's not a sacrifice I want to make for the rest of my life. And I love kids. And I just realized I want to be selfish. And I do not think motherhood is for me. I also realized I have zero desire to put my body through a pregnancy. Like, thinking about that also made me realize, like, I have zero desire to put my body through a pregnancy, let alone multiple pregnancies if I wanted to have more than one child. And I know there's adoption and things like that, but that was also a huge factor. And then the fact that people cannot afford to put groceries on the table. I feel very fortunate that my fiance and I, we are still able to live in New York City. We're able to live and do things, and that's really great. But if we had kids, at least one kid, we would be such broke parents, and I refuse to be a broke parent struggling. I also waitress in the city, and it's made me realize, seeing families out, especially with lots of kids, that I have zero desire to do that. And mothers and fathers are so amazing, and more power to all of you, but I realize that is not something that I am willing to do, and I'm not willing to give up my freedom to do. And you have to really take a hard look about if you want to give up your personal freedom to now worry about another human being, if not more than one. And at the end of the day, I would rather move through the rest of my entire life regretting not having a child rather than regretting having a child. Because once the child is here, you cannot get rid of it. And I refuse to put a child through a traumatic experience if I chose to have a child and then realized motherhood is not for me. I'm not going to traumatize a child like that. That's not fair to them. And then I don't want to be a resentful parent. It's not okay. I'm glad these conversations are happening, and I think more people need to really think about what it entails when you choose to have a child.
If you're still here, kindly put your thoughts, your comment, your opinion, your suggestion down in the comment section. All opinion are accepted if you kindly put them down respectfully. So the thing is, have you always wanted to be a mom, but growing up and realizing how motherhood is and seeing that we were lied to, we're lied to, and we're not really told the main thing of motherhood. When you realize it, like, do you still want to be a mom, or you just want to pass? I got interested in some comments in the original video, so I'm gonna read some out for you all. This one says, I regret it every day. Don't do it. Agree, motherhood and marriage. Then someone was talking about marriage, like this marriage is overrated as well. Before marriage, I thought it was a goal. Now I know better, but it does depend on the partner though. I'm going to be honest with this man. You will be lucky to get about 8 to 10 years before they cheat or leave for someone else. It feels like 10 years is the goal and not forever. Just my tip. It's a constant sacrifice that does not fulfill you, especially if you have no support system. I love my son, but I'm always exhausted and sacrificing. Turning 30 and still not sure. I'm 36 and no kids because no ma'am, I like being free. Being a mom is the hardest job in the world. even when your personal entire life is spiraling. When my friend had a medical breakdown and said, "But I never knew a love like this," I knew that saying was a mother's way of convincing themselves they aren't miserable. At that moment, I said, not me. 35 and still deciding. Same, I'm leaning more towards not. It's so sad, and I hate that for me, no man has made me soft or secure enough to have one for one. I fear being a single mother, struggling mother. Like, I want help. I don't want to sign up for a child alone. This is why I'm one-on-one as a mom. You are always going to do the most work and make the most sacrifice, no matter if you're married or not. As a 25-year-old with one, I get anxiety about having a second child. Everyone constantly reminds you that when you have a child, life is no longer about you. My biggest fear is that I'll end up a single mother like my mother. I plan to get married before having kids, but he can still divorce me. I love my daughter unconditionally, but I am one and done. The village doesn't exist. Grandparents do not want to be bothered. It's like she didn't finish her statement. Then someone says, "Girl, you said it. Ain't no village helping or supporting. My son is going to have to be the only child because I'm in my selfish era." It's sad how hard my husband has worked in his career to make 6 figures, and with me working too, it still don't cut it. We pay a fortune in therapy for our daughter. Our daycare is $117 a week, and our therapy is $200 a week per therapy. She has speech and occupational theory. So, yes, the sacrifice ends the topic of discussing when people are pressuring you to have a children or a child. I'm adult alone, and thank God I have a good income, so I'm investing in my son's life. But dang, once we begin the journey of motherhood, we need strength from the Lord, because only He knows the difficulties we face. It's not a joke. Parents need more support. It's so sad. I truly don't see how people make it, especially single parents. I know if my daughter ever has children, I'll be there in every way I can. My daughter will never have to wonder about a village. Mama will be there. You know, there were a lot of interesting comments like this on the post that I was like, wow. Like, wow. Let me know your thoughts about this video down in the comment section. For me, I would say motherhood is one of the hardest job ever. Ever. Because, and you know why it's very hard? Because you can't explain the kind of work. If you're not the one doing the work of the mother, you can't explain it. Because if somebody is seeing you, or even with you at home, they don't understand how tired or how exhausted you are, even when you complain about it, because they're like, but you're not doing anything, but you're not. Like, it's so hard that you don't even get enough praises for it. Even when you're down, you show up. Even when you're sick, you show up. Your child always wants you. Your child always wants the mom. Your child always wants to be around you. Even when you walk, you still have to show up to be a mother. If there's issue around your child, you are forced to be blamed. They always blame the mother. Oh, the mother. If a child comes to school, the hair is rough, with dirty clothes, the mother. Like, everything is about the mother. So I feel like being a mom is the most hardest job ever. 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 So we're not taught about that. We're not really, it didn't really tell us more about motherhood. I personally, I wasn't really taught about motherhood when I was growing up. So they would just make you feel like, it's not there, it's not bad. When you ask, sometimes I'm always curious about the whole childbirth thing. Like, how did you pop out a child from your vagina? And they'll be like, oh, it's very sweet. It's not painful. It's just, see, if you just close your eyes before you know the child is out. Like, I personally was lied to. I was not told the truth about motherhood. So right now, I don't lie to people. I tell people the truth. Like, it's no joke. Pregnancy is no joke, because pregnancy, you are not yourself. Your body is carrying another being, and you are a different kind of. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But the other side, people are not talking about it. The other side, you might have some pain. You might have this. You might have that. Like, it's just a roller coaster. So I don't like the idea of people just telling you the good side of being a mother and neglecting the other side, the bad side. Let me use the word, the bad side of being a mother. The side that people are not talking about. The side that people are afraid to speak out. Because you cannot even come out to say, oh, you're tired, you're exhausted, you just want to be alone. They will come for you. They will tell you you're not grateful. They will tell you what's your problem. You're a mother. You can't be tired as a mother. As a mom, you have to do everything. And this other last comment I read, she talking about the amount of money they put in for children, everything. See, it takes a lot of money to raise a child. It reminds me of a video that I saw. I saw it on Instagram, then later I saw it on TikTok. This lady was telling us how much it takes to give birth to a child in the United States. We might talk about the video in another video anyway. How much it takes to give birth to a child. She had twins. She said how much I paid to give birth to my twins in United States. This money was much. Like, now imagine someone that doesn't have money. How can you have that kind of quality of healthcare? And now twins is a lot. Aside from that's just childbirth, that's just bearing the child and bringing the child to the world. What about the day-to-day? Now things are getting expensive. Like, if you're not financially stable, just like you're punishing your child. Some will tell you have more than one, have more than two. The ideal is to have 4. Like, who said that? Who said the ideal is to have 4? They'll tell you have the child, money will come. A lot of things, people just sit down and just think, okay, let me just tell these people the good side. But when you really ask them, those people that are telling you motherhood is sweet, when you go down and ask them some deep questions, some of them are not enjoying it. I'm not saying all of them, because some people really want to be a mom. They've always wanted to be a mom and they're enjoying every bit of it. But what about some that they just feel like, I just think it's a normal thing. It's not like I want to be a mom. I just think it's a normal thing. Let me opt for this thing. And they opt for it. And now they're like, they will tell you might be seeing the good side, that they're okay with it. But ask them some deep questions, then you see that they're not really okay with it. So let me know. Have you always wanted to be a mom when you were young? Then growing up, you're like, no, this is not for me. Kindly put your thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And thank you all so much for sticking around to this point. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And kindly turn on the post notification bell when you subscribe, so you can get notified when I upload interesting video like this one. And I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.